There are intriguing coincidences involving Donald Trump, the number 7, and certain prophetic events in modern-day Israel. Donald Trump was born under a blood moon, exactly 700 days before the founding of Israel. On his first day in office, Trump was exactly 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. He was elected on Netanyahu's 7th year, 7th month, and 7th full day in office. The number 7 often symbolizes completion, like the biblical 7 days of creation. But completion of what? The one world order, the merging of the old guard with the new. In the 9/11 Era 1 ritual sacrifice, Kabbalistic high black magic, a middle pillar ritual, the third building that fell that day, Building 7 was the occult signature. But is there an even deeper biblical meaning? In the book of Daniel, Daniel receives a detailed but cryptic prophecy of 70 weeks by the angel Gabriel. The 70-week prophecy is a key part of Messianic Judaism. It has been the subject of intense exegetical activity since the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD. Daniel 9:24 states, 70 weeks are decreed for your people and your holy city, to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Remember, in Pythagorean addition, 70 is reduced to 7. Exactly 7 months from Trump's first day in office, a total solar eclipse occurred, the first since 1776 to be seen exclusively in the US. 7 years later, on April 8th of this year, is another great American solar eclipse. In Trump's 77th week in office, according to Forbes, he was the 777th richest person in the world. On July 7, 2017, 7717, Donald Trump met with Vladimir Putin for the first time, face-to-face when Vladimir Putin was exactly 77 months old to the day in the Hebrew year 5777. On the 75th anniversary of Israel's independence, Vladimir Putin turned 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days. Jeremiah 25:11 mentions this 70-year prophecy. This whole country will become a desolate wasteland, and these nations will serve the king of Babylon 70 years. On 6 December 2017, it was announced that the U.S. will recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and will shift the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This comes 70 years and 7 days after the United Nations approved a resolution for the creation of the State of Israel on 11/9/1947. On November 7, 2020, exactly 7 weeks to the day, since Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, on September 19th, Joe Biden became President-elect of the United States. This came exactly 48 years to the day that he was first elected to the Senate in 1972. On Donald Trump's 770th day in office, Israel's Attorney General announced that Bibi Netanyahu will be indicted on bribery and fraud charges, pending. This marks the first time a prime minister is facing criminal charges. The announcement comes 40 days before Israel's elections. On President Trump's 777th day, since the election on November 8, 2016, Israel announced that they would dissolve parliament and hold elections 7 months early on April 9, 2019. All these recent events occurred in the Hebrew year 5077. On December 12, 2019, Israel's Attorney General released a 77-page indictment against Netanyahu, listing 333 prosecution witnesses against him. Not by accident. Daniel 2:21 also states, "He removeth kings and setteth up kings." In order for the third temple to be built, the 70-week prophecy ties into the prophecy of the Red Heifer. According to the Jewish texts, a red heifer is a cow that is entirely red in color, without any blemish or markings, and has never been used for work. This specific type of cow is required for a ritual purification process described in the Hebrew Bible. Animal sacrifice has been seen as barbaric in the modern day, but the Jewish texts believe that sacrifice, or korban, is sacred. It is believed Moses was the first to sacrifice a red heifer, and 9 have been sacrificed since, but the 10th is a prerequisite for the rebuilding of the Third Temple in Jerusalem, where today, the Al-Aqsa Mosque stands. Herein lies the issue as Muslims outlaw animal sacrifice. Most Christians believe the Third Temple is allegorical. The Third Temple is built within. The ritual sacrifice must occur on the Mount Olives, like it did in the Bible. Numbers 19:3 states, "Tell the Israelites to procure for you a red heifer without defect, and free from every blemish and on which no yoke has ever been laid. You will give it to Eleazar the priest, and it will be led outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence." Therefore, the Jewish Kohanim have been searching for the perfect red heifer for the last few years in secret. It is seen as the sign of Dajjal or the Antichrist. The signs in the heavens have also played a major role in these prophecies. On April 8th of this year, 2024, the path of this year's total solar eclipse overlaid with the total solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017. Total solar eclipse, the intersection of the two paths of these eclipses in Makanda IL. These two eclipses form an X across the United States. X marks the spot. In Thelemic magic, the X is known as Osiris Rising, a symbol of Osiris, the Egyptian black god of the Nile. Osiris is the Egyptian archetype of Christ. On August 2nd, 2027, and March 20th, 2034, are two more total solar eclipses which are 7 years apart. But these are over the land promised to Abraham. These eclipses pass over a very long stretch of the Nile, and the 2034 eclipse reaches to where the Euphrates empties into the Persian Gulf. The full X formed by the entirety of both eclipses are symmetrical. Lest we forget, Genesis 15:8 states, "I'm giving this land to your descendants, from the river of Egypt to the great Euphrates River." Not only that, on October 14th, 2023, an annual solar eclipse will cross the US from Oregon to Texas. If you overlay this eclipse with the two total solar eclipses of 2017 and 2024, the Hebrew letter Aleph, the Greek Alpha, is formed. Aleph is the foundational letter in Hebrew. It is often stated that Christ was crucified and resurrected on a total solar eclipse, when the sun and moon are joined a blood moon, in 33 AD. Thank you for watching. If you'd like more videos on this topic, please like and share this video.